Hi everyone and welcome to another video from DisplayRepair.com. If the rear window defroster, also known as a rear heater, doesn't work on your car, this video should help find and perhaps fix the problem. We'll be showing this example on an older Renault Clio, but the basic principle of finding and fixing the problem can be applied to all cars. So stay tuned. DisplayRepair.com. Be sure to visit us at our website DisplayRepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. In order to better understand what may be causing the problem with the defroster, we'll just mention the main parts of the whole system. Most people immediately suspect the defroster, but oftentimes other parts of the system may cause the problem. So the main parts are the defroster. This is the part that actually emits heat. The lines you see on the rear window are heat conductors which heat up once electric current goes through them. They're connected to the installation through two contacts on each side of the heater. Fuse. The fuse is in charge of protecting the electric installation from a short circuit or overload. The relay. The relay's main purpose is to provide the necessary strong electric current to the defroster and to protect the switch at the same time. Switch. The switch has the purpose of turning the heater on and off. Connectors and wires. In between all of these parts, you have various connectors and wiring. Finding a defroster problem isn't that demanding regarding tools. All you'll need to diagnose the problem is a simple electric tester or a multimeter. For the repair itself, you may need some extra spare parts, additional tools or repair kits, which we'll be talking about later in the video. In order to set a proper diagnosis of the problem, you first have to see if there is electric input to the defroster. This gives you a good starting point and a partial solution to whether the defroster is the problem or other parts of the system. To do this, in this case, we're going to use a multimeter because it's more convenient to connect. But the principle is exactly the same if you're going to use a tester. The only difference is that the tester lights up while the multimeter shows a voltage reading. So, connect the multimeter to the contacts on the defroster. You'll find one contact on each side. Try to connect it without removing the connectors of the defroster to prevent causing any damage. Now, turn on the defroster. If the multimeter shows a voltage reading, this means there is an electric input to it and that the defroster is causing the problem. But if there isn't an electric input and the multimeter shows 0 volts, then search for the problem on the other parts of the system that we've previously mentioned. It's the same with the tester. If the tester lights up, it means there is an electric input. If there isn't a light on the tester, then this means there is no electric input. The most common problem with the defroster is a broken or damaged line, also known as a conductor within the heater. Another cause of problems are broken off contacts located on the side of the defroster. This happens mostly due to physical damage like scraping, wiping, or accidentally breaking off. The repair is fairly simple. If the heater isn't molded into the glass, you can buy repair kits for fixing the conductor lines. It's pretty simple to do, and the procedure is explained on every repair kit. The basic principle is to use a special coating and reconnect the broken conductor. If a contact is broken, it's a bit more complicated, but the principle of repair is the same. You in some way glue or weld the contact back into place. For heaters that are molded into the glass, the only repair in most cases is to replace the whole rear window. If there isn't any electric input to the defroster, the fuse is the first place to look. Use the tester or the multimeter, find the fuse for the rear defroster and check if it's okay. If it's burnt out, replace it with a fuse of the same amperage and try then if the defroster works. If the fuse burns out again, then search for the problem elsewhere. In most cases, search for a short circuit. We've made a separate video on this topic about fuses and how to replace them. where we explain the whole procedure in more detail. Click on the card in the corner to watch the video. If the fuse is okay, the relay is the next thing to check. It's a pretty rare cause of problems and mostly breaks down due to material fatigue. Once you've found it on your car, and it will oftentimes be hidden under various panels, check out if it works. The fastest and most simple way to do this is to listen if it clicks when you turn on the defroster. If it doesn't click, try to take it out and check with a tester or multimeter if there's electric input coming to it. If there isn't an electric input, check the fuse and the rest of the electric installation. If there is input, then you should probably replace the relay. It would be best if you have a spare one at hand and try it out to be certain. Just pull the old one out and insert the new one in. Just like the relay, the switch is a rare cause of problems. You should check it if there's no input to the relay. If you want to check it, best pull it out and check it with the tester or a multimeter to see if it has contact and lets electricity through it. If it doesn't, best replace the switch. If the fuse, relay and switch is okay and you still don't have electric input to the defroster, then check the connectors and wiring. The most common cause of problems on this part are broken wires and bad connections. To solve this problem, it would be best to have some prior knowledge about the wiring on your car and where it exactly goes and where are some of the main connectors located. Hotspots on most cars for problems are places where the wiring is frequently strained or bended. For instance, in this case, the first place to look would be the rubber grommet tube through which the wire passes from the car body to the tailgate. Also, look at places where there might be moist or corrosion, like near the floor panels. This problem is in most cases easily solved with some contact spray WD-40 or simply by replacing broken wires. A much bigger task in this case is to find where the problem actually is. Once more for the end, to diagnose a defroster problem properly, connect the tester or multimeter to the defroster and see if there's electric input. If there is, check the defroster for any kind of damage. If there isn't an electric input, first check the fuse and then the relay, switch, and then the connections and wiring. All in all, the most common cause of problems are physical damage to the defroster and a burnt out fuse. Whatever the problem may be, in most cases it's fairly simple to repair as long as you diagnose the problem properly. So that's it for this time. We hope the video helps. Please like and subscribe, it's a huge help for what we're doing. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.